kind of questions you have?
Zach, up front.
I'm sure that this was probably the last thing that you were concerned about this weekend, but there was a lot of criticism from some prominent national media members about how this was handled and specifically attacking your organization and even suggesting that you guys were trying to dodge this game. What was your reaction to some of that?
19 deaths, 2.5 million devastated without power, families in dire needs. Obviously, they don't know me. They don't know the Florida Gators. They don't know our players. Dodging a game? Wow. I obviously those people, man, I obviously growing up in Montana, I've never been through a hurricane, okay? But I think a lot of people around here have, and have seen the devastation. And, you know, certainly how anybody could even think that way is beyond me.
And then you guys were obviously missed a big recruiting weekend because of this
Yeah,
game
we
being
did. We
canceled.
had two guys, we had to cancel official visits that ended up going to Ohio State. Conveniently, I guess, for them, but, you know, there was no way, you know, you couldn't get in and out. Obviously, campus was totally closed. People preparing, you know, for the aftermath of what this, you know, could have done. There was, you know, there was no way you could, that was the least of our worries, you
Sure.
know, and for their safety and the safety of the people around, you know, that was a no-brainer.
And does it hurt to miss for them to miss an atmosphere like that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And yet, I mean, I go back, you know, the big picture of life, you know, yeah, we missed a lot. And yet, why don't we go walk through the aftermath of some of this and say, you know, how important was that? You know, we can make up an official visit.
Sure.
Thomas.
Having Luke back, just how much does that help your team? How
Yeah,
excited
no,
is he?
we're excited about that. I know Luke's excited and been itching to go. Obviously, we shut everything down on Thursday, so today will be the first time kind of back. You know, everything was closed on campus. You know, we brought him in and got him some rations to take home, but other than that, that was about it. So, you know, today will be the first time kind of back together. We had team dinner last night, and, you know, just had a chance to kind of visit about what was and see how guys were doing. So today we get back to work, and you know, as I said, our main focus right now has to be getting ready to come back and playing homecoming in the swamp against a really good Missouri team.
Edgar.
What was the team's reaction when you told them that the game was not going to be played?
You know, it was mixed. Obviously, the competitive nature, you know, was the first instinct, and that's the first instinct in all of us. And yet, the look on quite a few people's faces that, you know, knew and had been through things before and known what the families were about ready to go through. You know, it was hard. It was hard on everybody. And yet, you know, the unknown, the change in the routine, you know, it shakes everything up. I just know how much our guys want to play.
You were in Alabama during
Yeah,
the tornadoes?
Yeah, the tornado, yeah. That was, and probably had as big of an effect on me as anything. To see what, you know, the act of Mother Nature can do, and to see what it did going down that street about 2-3 blocks just off of where our facility was, and seeing it tear all the way through town, seeing what it did and personally with even some of our players, man, I'm telling you, it's a real eye opener.
I mean, having that experience, I mean, does it kind of, you obviously a little angered to hear any blowback toward Florida.
It shocks me that someone could actually think that way, especially knowing us. And yet, I don't, you know, you guys are all, you know, nowadays, I guess, you know, accountable for getting X amount of little shots out on your Twitter thing. You know, that's how you get paid instead of writing stories. So I guess whatever you do, I mean, there isn't much thought that goes behind it to me, that somebody would actually think that. And knowing us, that's pretty crazy to me.